we're too far gone.
Okay. Welcome to 0 Hit Points, everybody. It's December 18th. I'm Ryan Miller, and introducing for the very first time, second, third, 500th, our very own real-life Sonic the Hedgehog, Matt Amber.
Sonic the Hedgehog?
No, did I say that?
That's what I thought I heard. I mean, I don't know what it means, but it's it's like the terrifying, the excellent director version of.
Anything's possible at this point. And yes, it is terrifying. Yes, I'm referencing, in fact, when do we release our poster of it, I guess is what I really want to know.
Oh, it's got to be sooner than later is what I think. The fact that we haven't already is just disappointing on a billion different levels.
Have you seen that thing? I'm sorry to bring it up just so quickly, so early on, and possibly early in the morning for anybody, but that Sonic poster?
It's very, very arousing. And did you watch the live action trailer? That whole thing was...
What it arouses in me, though, is not... Wait, there's a trailer now?
Oh, yeah.
No.
Oh, yeah, there's some visuals out there, my friend.
Oh.
I'll even send it to you. We'll do this.
Gross, don't. This is... No, we've already talked about it,
We'll do it now. We're live on
This isn't even the movies. I've sworn never to talk movies on this podcast.
But this is related.
And so far, 100% Thursday's Book Club for Movies. This is the one where we talk about video games. Not Sonic. No, don't start. I see the gears turning. Preferably ones we've played. And this week I know there's at least two. So, what'd you play this week?
Sonic the Hedgehog.
No, that's not possible.
It's not. I did not play it. I've never even.
Your commitment to the bit would be legendary.
It would be.
You had already done that, anticipated.
I really wish I had that forethought. If I did, I would have killed it on this one.
Yeah, that's the thing.
Would have gone for it.
Requires forethought.
Yeah, but I don't have.
Have not made it to 3 thought here at 0 Hit Points. Ding, ding, ding.
Ding, you went ding, I went dong. Yeah, I played a bunch of Smash Bros this past
Still,
week.
huh?
Yeah, still, huh? You're not done with that yet?
Well, I've heard it's not that long. Surely you've completed the story and beat the game.
I have absolutely done neither of those things.
Actually, I haven't. I've heard it's very long and difficult at times, actually. So
it's a little bit both of those things for me so far. Yeah. But yeah, it's cool. I'm liking the game a lot. It's fun. I still like how the adventure mode is laid out and the thing with the spirits. I do understand now that I've played for a while that I can get it's grindy more than anything, and it can be kind of dull in that respect when you get a bunch of them in a row and you're like, ugh, I'm just trying to get to that one spot and I got to grind through 5 of you spirit things to get there. But
and do you know what that spot is, or is it a generic this is a character spot, or do you know the characters you're going for?
It's a character spot. You can kind of figure it out based on who you're fighting. But I know there are maps out there and stuff. People they're not randomized in where they're at.
Oh, okay. So they are certain characters that will unlock, but you don't know what they are based on the icon or whatever.
Right, because I don't look them up.
Gotcha. Okay. Yeah, I probably wouldn't either.
Nah, this is more fun that way.
Are you in the market for you want this one and you're searching for it and you haven't got it yet?
I got it. No, I got the exact character I wanted. I've been playing him pretty much exclusively since I got him.
Is it Pit? I know you mentioned Pit last week, I think.
Yeah.
You got him. Okay,
yeah.
Okay, cool.
I got Pit pretty early on, actually. I figured out where he was, and I actually looked that up. I was like, okay, where is he at? And I beelined for that spot. And
Lies. Okay, I get it.
Yeah.
This is...
Well, prior to that...
you just don't look up the people you don't care about. That's what you
Which is pretty much everybody else. Once I got Pac-Man and him, and now now that I've been playing more, I started playing... I just recently unlocked Little Mac. I'm finding that some of the characters I really liked early on, like Pac-Man, are not as viable for me as they were when now that other characters and their powers and how some of their stuff works, I see why he's kind of a lower tier and a weaker character.
Character hierarchy in a game like Smash Brothers seems to me strange because it's already not in a game like Street Fighter. That kind of makes sense. Like some players, although I guess there's balance changes and whatnot that go on. But there are some players that are just nobody chooses them, especially competitively, right?
Mm-hmm.
Smash, I don't I mean, I don't know any of these games well, so
Yep.
none of this makes sense. But
So this is no different than any other fighting game because it's very frame related. People pay attention to that stuff, and there are characters.
I guess that's it. Yeah, it's a game that seems less concerned about that type of stuff. But
it
I
is
guess you did mention that last
100%
week.
not. It is
Okay,
more
all right.
concerned about that than ever. In every respect, it's like the most concerning thing about that game. If you're trying to play it competitively, you are concerned about nothing else in your life other than frames of Smash.
See, I was right. I don't know what I'm talking about.
Yeah, no, it's crazy. The and there are even in some of the tips in the game, they'll even mention that this has a shorter frame rate, there a shorter frame cut than something else
kidding.
does. And so consider that. But it's not like they don't do what NetherRealm does, where they actually put the I think if I remember correctly, NetherRealm actually has the frames
puts it in there. Yeah,
yeah,
I
the
can't
frame
remember
information
that either, but yeah. So wait, the game that you said like barely tutorializes you at all has information about frames in there somewhere, or mentions them.
Yes, but not like on every character. There are just some characters that specifically in their little tooltip menu it says this character's frame on this particular move is extra long or something.
That is interesting.
Yeah,
I've never heard of that being. Like, I've heard of it being available. I've never heard of it being surfaced, I guess, in that way.
Yes.
And again, in a game like Smash, it seems weird for.
yeah.
All right.
And
Well,
I did find that they kind of somewhat have a mode that lets you kind of learn the game, but it was buried in another mode, and I don't know why it was
fantastic.
Like it was buried in another menu. So
of course it was.
I don't know. I don't know why.
With the Nintendo logo right on it, it must have been Nintendo. We did this because shrug emoji.
Shrug emoji.
Just Mario shrugging. Here you go. Here's the training mode. You found it.
There you go. Achievement unlocked for Xbox.
This is going to be their first achievement. Yeah, they're finally going to institute an achievement system. Again, several years late because Nintendo. It'll have the logo on it. And then, yeah, it's going to be, the first one's going to be Mario going, I guess so.
I want to see a Mario version of Fury Road with Mario as Immortan Joe. A mediocre.
Sure. Oh, witness me.
A look at me. A look at me. A witness me. I love it.
We've, speaking of Smash Brothers, discovered one of the best mashups. Smash Brothers.
Yeah.
We're the Mash Brothers.
Us.
We chose the Batman theme song because it's probably public domain at this point. Smart. Actually, no, that's good.
Yeah, weird.
Hey,
Look, I'm
so Smash is good. You like it?
Yes, I enjoy Smash Bros. It is fun.
Well, I look forward to more information on it. Oh, actually, I guess, do you think you'll have more information on it, or are you just okay?
Not until if I play it online, and a couple of people we've swapped out friend codes and stuff, so we might do some online and check that out.
Hot.
But hot friend codes.
That's cool.
Yeah, so that's fun. It's good times.
I'll have a friend code in like a weekish.
Dude, it's gonna be cool. You've already got the online thing and everything.
Oh, you're right. I'm part of your family now, aren't I?
You
or
are.
Will be.
You're my family.
Yeah, I was gonna give you my Nintendo ID or whatever it is that I have somewhere.
Yeah, we gotta figure that out. I gotta get Sean's too, because we're one big happy family.
Hey, if you want to be part of the 0HITPOINTS family, do anything else. The Nintendo one is full, but you can still like Facebook us and email and all that. That's
I
just as exciting.
If you don't have anywhere to go, you can come over to my house.
Yeah,
cool.
That's what the holidays are all about. We'll argue with you about stuff.
Yeah, I mean, not over the holidays. No, you come over later, and like not for like a long time, like an hour.
Okay, right. How's April?
Sounds good. I'm into it. Let's do it.
The game I thought you might have something to say about is Red Dead. Surely we've built up enough. I know I've built up a few Red Dead stories here over the weeks. I think we skipped it purposefully last week even.
We did.
Do you have any Red Dead saved up in the tank?
I'm kind of more interested to hear where you're at with this because I've talked, I think, a little bit more about it than you have already.
Very possible, actually, because I've had to discipline myself at times because I've been so busy with other stuff, and I sit down to play a game to relax, sometimes one might think. And Red Dead isn't always the first one that comes to mind, you know?
Nope.
But I'm like, if I'm going to play a game, I got to buckle down on this thing. Like I gotta keep going in it. I haven't necessarily regretted it ever. It's just that I'm moving at such a slow pace because when I do sit down and I'm not like mainlining, because I have played games like that before. In fact, I probably played the first Red Dead like that because, achievements help also, but you lose out on stuff like that. And it's a new game too, which I never play kind of at the same time with everybody else. So I have been playing that exclusively, but I just do like a mission or two, or I run around, or we got to run around online too, but we'll talk about that later. So yeah, I have stories saved up here. One of them was, I think, possibly towards the end of chapter 2. What if I just don't use chapter 2 as a landmark here?
Yeah, just go with the story part. Like, tell me something else.
Well, okay, I don't even remember what that was either, but
Good.
chapter 2 is so big, I feel like it's not going to give any context. But I came back to camp after a certain mission. Oh, it was, okay. It was after rescuing Sean, the Irish dude.
The Irishman.
Yes. It was a ton of fun. I like that character a lot, actually.
He's funny,
so far.
Yeah.
But you rescue him from whatever you rescued him from. I don't even remember that much. I would if I thought about it. But the important thing to note here is that when I came back, the camp had been basically turned into a story progression. Like I couldn't affect anything in it like I could normally. There weren't any chores to do because love me some chores.
Yeah, no, you're a big fan.
But it was set up in kind of a celebratory set piece where everybody was, celebrating the return of Sean, and you could go around and there was whiskey and beer bottles everywhere you could pick up, and there were different activities happening at different spots. You could sit down by the fire and sing. You must have got this one. I'm sure it's a story thing.
Yeah,
okay.
yeah.
But I just thought it was cool because it wasn't an express story mission. It was just what happened when you got back to camp, and you couldn't do anything. In fact, you couldn't even, I don't know if you could leave the camp and start progressing stuff.
No,
it was already nighttime.
You had to go to sleep.
Okay. So yeah, that's what I ended up doing too.
Yeah.
Well, actually, that's not true. The first thing I tried to do, and this is going against how I've played the character so far, because I have been role-playing this thing pretty strongly. I'm a good dude. I haven't accidentally shot anybody. I haven't purposefully shot anybody. Actually, that's not true. I've shot a lot of people.
You're wearing a cowboy hat right now.
I do often text you in cowboy speak.
It's very, very disconcerting, by the way.
It's not on purpose either. It's just like the first thing that comes to mind. I'm like, boy, howdy.
Sure
Let's
is.
do it.
Sure is, partner.
I did that one too. And I don't play it like a ton. Yes, it's the only game I've played, but anyways, but no, in the game too, I'm role playing the thing a lot where I'm trying to be a pretty good guy, even though inside of the story missions, it's a lot less possible. This time at the party, I'm like, okay, the only thing to do here pretty much is to sing and drink. Actually, there was a dancing thing too. I did dance with one of the girls for a bit, which was cool. I was very nice and I spun her. There was like a prompt for a flourish. You could like dip her or spin her.
I actually did not do that.
It's great. There was, I don't know. It's hard to explain because it seems simple and stupid, but it's just, it's a one of a kind thing.
It's nice flavor that fills it out.
Yeah.
To be not a, it's not every little part of. I think what it does is it helps. Tries to balance out and makes a point that not every single thing in Arthur's life and in your life in this game has to be the worst thing in the world.
Or a mission marker.
Right.
Yeah. Or no, I agree with you. Those are my thoughts.
Good.
Boy, howdy.
Our thoughts converge.
But I didn't go to sleep right away. I tried to drink until I passed out.
Attaboy.
And it wouldn't let me. I drank a lot of beers and a lot of whiskeys. And yeah, stuff got pretty woozy, and the contextualization changed if you try to then sing or dance after that.
Lenny.
But it didn't. I couldn't black out for whatever reason.
Lenny.
Yeah, no, there was no Lenny moment, unfortunately. Because that one did end in blacking out.
Yeah.
But it was a great moment. It was a cool moment. In fact,
yeah.
Probably, maybe a highlight so far. I've played a ton more since then. In fact, like I said last week, I am in chapter 3 now. We moved on to the new camp on the bank of the river.
Yes, okay. I am also at that place.
Okay. But I've done a lot more story missions too, and I can't tell, again, if this was 2 or 3 stuff. In fact, this might still be 2 stuff because 3 I've only done maybe a handful. I've done a couple on accident because I've been trying to do chores and accidentally triggered a Dutch mission, actually. So
sorry, Dutch. Can't help you right now. Just want to move this grain over here.
I'm literally trying to just put water in this bucket, and he'll get too close to Dutch, and the bucket will drop, and I'll be like, what? You dropped the bucket, man. And then Dutch will walk up and start talking. I'm like, no, I'm trying to get water from the lake just to put it. Dang it.
I don't want to help you, Dutch.
Twice.
Idiot Dutch.
But no, the most interesting story missions I got so far are the ones that have introduced the Pinkertons, Milton and Ross, which are the two. They got to be the two from Red Dead 1, right? I'm not just making that up.
Oh, you know what?
I'm almost positive they are.
I didn't actually think about it. I've kind of core dumped most of Red Dead 1, honestly, so I'd have to go back and look at it.
I'm pretty sure they are. Some of the dialogue, which this is probably the most enjoyable story mission I've had so far, is because you also get some of the more pointed dialogue about men and civilization and stuff like that. You know, Arthur's ethos, I think, comes out a little bit more too in that conversation, because you get a little bit of it in camp. You get the feeling that Arthur is kind of, I mean, an old dog, but you don't know, like, obviously he's an old dog, but you don't know what the old means really yet. You get a little bit of that in his interactions with Dutch, and definitely a little bit more in chapter 3 of the ones I have done. But you've never actually heard Arthur come right out and say some of the things he says in speaking with the Pinkertons, like about civilization and enrichment, like I said.
Right.
So that was cool. It was fun to see some of that come together. And the story is coming together, I think, for me really well, is what I'm probably trying to say here.
Sure.
Because also some of the missions you do are with Marston, and they continue to drill down Marston in just the best fashion, in a way that recontextualizes Red Dead 1 amazingly. Because you play Red Dead 1, at least I played Red Dead 1, and you're just the hero at that point. And I guess a lot has changed since Red Dead 1, both with games and even just my whole outlook and just the politicization of everything everywhere. Red Dead 2 is outwardly a very more political game than Red Dead 1, I would even say. For everything that Red Dead 1 did with industrialization and stuff like that, you know? But the stuff they do with Marston is great, because when I played Red Dead 1, I just think I'm the hero, right? I'm the guy that's doing the good thing. I didn't catch the whole betraying your family aspect of his character, which I'm sure if I went back and played Red Dead 1, there's probably more of that there than I gathered. But just playing video games, and I'm sure most people did this, you just put your feet in the shoes of the hero. Like, I'm the guy that's after the bad guy. I'm working with the police now. They just, no matter what I'm forgetting, they don't touch upon that aspect of what he's doing, that he's betraying his family. And maybe that's because they've decided to make this prequel largely about that family.
Yeah, which I have found kind of more interesting is my memory of the first Red Dead was that I felt like, and maybe I just haven't gotten there yet, but I felt like the Vanderlyn gang was far, far worse than what we currently are.
Yes, I think that's what I'm saying.
Yeah, no. I'm agreeing with you. I'm saying that I agree with you. I think it's very interesting because maybe we're just not far enough in, and I'm hoping that this does take a really terrific turn where things get awful and brutal and rude.
It has to, and I do think they're building to that. I think there are a lot of hints about that. I just think what they've done specifically with Marston is also super cool too. No,
for sure, and because I do love that like there are certain things about the original game that I do remember, you know, I do recall, like, I remember that duality between him, what he wanted to do for his wife and the family, between what he wanted to do for to get away from his past and all that.
Right. And I'm glad you mentioned his family, actually, because that's his family in that game. It's not the gang. Like, the gang is his family here, even though he has like his kid. But yeah, so here it's much more about the actual gang as family, and basically how Arthur is really set up in opposition to Marston as a character.
Yeah.
Which is also smart. But I mean, he takes his kid fishing. That's where you run into the Pinkertons. Like, he takes Jack fishing. He's doing a lot of the stuff that Marston isn't, because he's such a total like idiot in this one. Like, nobody likes him and he's a total loser type thing.
Well, and he's desperately trying to, like, Marston is, it's funny because like his through line from this game into what will be the sequel, oddly enough, is that he's kind of always in that position. Like, he never gets himself out of that role of putting himself in front of the 8-ball, behind the 8-ball, near the 8-ball.
Sure, yeah, no. And there must have been some of that in the first game that I'm sure I just passed over. Like, you don't consider a lot of the facets.
Right.
So yeah, that's really cool. The other thing I want to mention is the journal in this thing is just freaking brilliant.
Awesome. It was such a great decision.
it adds so much depth to everything because it fills out not only what Arthur is thinking at different points, but it fills out stuff that is only hinted at in dialogue because they do try to be smartly, again, so very pointed, but not, I mean, good dialogue is that. It's pointed, but not obvious type thing. Mm-hmm. But the journal, you can go into that and see like what he was thinking during such an interaction or conversation and what his real thoughts are. And a lot of it's way more plain. You know, it's like he is having doubts about the gang itself, about Dutch and his direction. And Dutch is being built out really well too, I think, actually, because he's all bluster but it's all beneath this facade of family and
oh yeah.
He's like an evil Dom Toretto, or will be. Yeah, okay.
R.I.P. Paul Walker.
All right, that's where I was headed. R.I.P. Paul Walker. Last story I'll tell though.
Okay.
I did finally accidentally point my gun at somebody. I was headed away from a mission. I saw a homestead with a little gray dot in front of it, and the gray dot you can tell is it's not a normal NPC. You can go up and talk to him, and usually it'll trigger something. So I went up to talk to him. I left triggered him, and I already had my gun out. So he got scared, started shooting at me. I ran away because I'm not going to kill him because my fault. You know, I didn't mean to do that.
I didn't mean to accidentally point my gun at you.
I'm a good guy.
I was walking around with my gun out.
So they started shooting at me, but then one of them became a witness, so I had to go hogtie him anyways, because even if I screwed up, I'm not letting the witnesses... I haven't killed any witnesses yet, but I've just hogtied them and left them there so they don't witness me anymore.
Once again.
So I hogtied both of them. In fact, in mid-combat, one of the guys shooting me, I went up to him and hogtied him. So just like survived enough bullets that I shot. And then I kept getting shot. I think he was literally firing his gun, because I didn't take his gun, or I don't know if I can take his gun. I think he was still getting shots off from his tied hands somehow. I'm not positive. It was crazy because I had hogtied both of them at that point.
I hope so. I hope you were getting shot by a guy who's like, I got my gun! Whip, whip!
And then my game crashed.
Oh!
Like, zzz. So I'm like, okay, I reboot. Completely reset. All good.
Nice.
Autosaved right before that.
There you go. Perfect.
So I'm still a good guy. I went and talked to him. I'm now going to get him some lumber for his house, help him build it. We're friends.
Oh, man.
Like nothing ever happened.
I think I accidentally killed that guy. Seriously, I think that was one of my earlier moments where I was like, oh, hey, what's this guy want? And then I accidentally reared the horse on him and he kicked him or something. I'm pretty sure my horse kicked that guy to death.
Okay. I don't know how it's going to pan out, but I guess I'll keep you in mind.
Yeah, no, definitely do, please. I will. I don't know if I told you. Did I tell you about the hide-a-bear story?
No, but I'm instantly intrigued.
So this is the only Red Dead story I'll tell you. So okay. There was this weird house in a I don't remember where I was at, but I was going down a pathway, and then there's another little pathway off this pathway that led to this garbagey house. And so I go up to this house, and I could hear a bear, and I don't know where the bear is, but I can hear it. So I walk behind the house, not behind the house. I walk over there. I can't figure out where the hell this bear is, but my horse is freaking out. So I'm like, all right, fine. We'll just, we'll deal with it. I want to go in here because there might be a cigarette card in this shack.
You got to find the cigarette. I am so invested in the cigarette
I'm
cards.
super into them. I open the door and there is an immediate quick cutscene of a bear in the house.
What?
And I totally
no freaking way.
I totally had the whoa, and you're given
Man.
I was given a button mash thing where I could stab him in the neck or something. And it's like, kill the stupid bear, and it was horrifying.
Oh man, I'm almost bummed you told me about that.
I don't know if that was supposed to be there or not.
Oh, like he may have glitched inside?
Maybe.
You said there was a cutscene, though.
I know. It looked like a cutscene because of how the camera zoomed in, because the bear took up so much of the room. And then there's me. So the game was like, I got to fit you all in one spot. And then and so it did the cutscene where if you get tackled by a bear, there's a little, there's a moment thing, because that's what happened. I got tackled by the bear when I walked in the door.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's amazing.
I had to kill the bear, and then I had to skin it, and then I had to move it so that I could actually investigate the rest of the house.
So are you just going into random houses when you find them and looting them?
Oh, absolutely.
Oh, okay.
100% of the time.
That might not be what I'm doing
Oh yeah, no, I'm definitely doing that. I check if I see a house that's anywhere near the outskirts of town. Oh yeah, I check the doors on that guy.
Do you get wanted level for it?
No.
I'm in.
Yeah, I mean, as long as there's nobody in the house.
As long as Game God doesn't know I'm breaking the law.
That's right, and it's fine. It's fine. I have not been in trouble for going into anybody's house. I got in trouble for accidentally stealing something, but
like from one of those houses, or from like there was a guy nearby. Like, how do you steal something? I don't know. Except for horses, I'm not sure.
You just
run into that.
You just walk up to things and you could take you can horse thief. You can steal things like if you open the drawers and stuff.
But even like small things, if somebody's nearby, it'll be like, hey, that's my thing.
Yeah, well, in one of the cases, that's exactly what happened. I started taking something out. Like there were people in the house, to be fair, but I was like, well, I might as well just try and steal this. And they go, what are you doing? Put that back. And then I shot them, and then they didn't say anything again.
Jeez. So if you go into a house that has people in it, do they look at you weird?
Oh yeah, no, they yell at you. Get out!
Yeah, that's the dumbest question I've ever asked about Red Dead. They look at you weird if you like drive by their camp too closely.
They do. Yeah. They yell at you and say, "What are you doing over here?" I'm like 18 feet away, buddy, and I'm.
I think the world is too overly populated with mean people, if you ask me. Because there's got to be every once in a while you walk up to somebody's camp and they're like, "Hey, you might be a nice guy. I'll play it cool at first, and then we'll see." Because I ain't gonna shoot him, but. Everybody I go up to with like smoke coming off their campfire, they're like, "You better keep your distance." And I'm like, I was just gonna say hi. Like I hit the X button.
Oh yeah, no, I definitely hold those people up and I murder them. I butcher them in their sleep.
I kind of had a feeling.
Yeah, no, absolutely. Those people they're lambs. Lambs to the slaughter.
I will say, the land is hardening me because I've come into a few instances. No, this is gonna get better too. I've come into a few instances where number one, I have my bow out all the time because that's kind of the best way to hunt.
See, it's a varmint rifle.
I still need the varmint rifle. Whoa. Okay.
You gotta go prospecting.
Number one, that should be how you always say the word varmint. But number two, it's becoming completely subliminal at this point. I can't help it.
There is some cowboy osmosis going on.
It's fantastic. I don't have the varmint rifle yet, so I keep using the bow, and even then, it's not giving me like 3-star things. So I don't even know. But the point is that when I get approached by roaming bandits, I need to switch guns and then try to figure out. I'm not even good at Deadeye yet, and it's switched to I've got manual Deadeye now, so I have to like RB mark them before I hit them.
Yeah.
So anyways, I've gotten killed like twice like that because I just haven't been able to switch around fast enough. And I've had like pelts and all this stuff from animals I've been hunting while roaming around that I've just lost because you lose them at that point, and you lose some money too, which sucks. So now I'm shooting animals with the gun more often. What else was I doing? Oh, I'm smoking cigarettes to increase my Deadeye so I don't get caught, unawares without any Deadeye.
That's right.
So the land is hardening me.
Yeah, no, you're becoming a cowboy.
Smoking was kind of the last straw. I'm like, great, I'm smoking now. This is fantastic.
You're like in the game. You're like you're sitting there watching yourself in the game and going, in real life, like I can taste it.
It's great. It's still great.
I'm looking forward to the day you purposefully take the life of an innocent.
Right.
I just want your hat. I'm tired of your attitude, sir.
Oh, it'll happen. At the very least, I'll get through the story, and that'll be all done. And basically, the game will be done-ish for me, and then I'll just start diving into achievements. And at that point, I'll do whatever it takes.
All I'm trying to say is that I have a great time antagonizing people and seeing how they respond back, because I do love I love going by somebody and greeting them, and then they're antagonistic to me, to which I then go antagonistic back to them.
Right. You're like, oh, yeah, well, that's rude. You deserve this.
Exactly. And that's why I antagonize people in the first place. I'm like, can you get past it? Huh? Or are you going to be a jerk? Huh? What are you going to do, jerk? And there have been a number of times where, I've antagonized somebody and then I've been far enough away where they said something, but they turned around, they kept going the direction they were going. And I've had the bow out and I just, I'll Deadeye the bow onto the back of their head.
Jeez.
It's great. Everything about it is fantastic.
I mean, I will especially speaking with my family members, be the first guy to be like, hey, yeah, you can do all this. What you've heard about these games might be true, but you don't have to do that. Like, you can be a nice guy. I'm a nice guy so far. I will also be the first guy to say that's complete horse garbage.
It's horse pucky.
The game absolutely enables your style of play more than mine, for sure.
It's really fun.
They are games that have a lot more darker things to say, obviously. The main message isn't, everything's fine. See? Things are good.
Like you said that like somebody, everything's fine.
There's no other way to say it.
Hi, partner.
Red Dead.
Afternoon.
I'm in chapter 3. That so far what I've done is now throwing Dutch and Arthur's opposition into greater relief, which I'm enjoying even more. So it's shaping up to be real nice, you might say.
It's the real purdy posse.
Do you? Yeah, I was nice. Hey, okay. I was just going to ask you about Red Dead Online if we wanted to talk about it that much. I have literally one thing to add. Actually, two. Now that you've mentioned the name of our posse, and it's actually the Purdy Mouth Posse.
The Purdy Mouth Posse.
Because I knew it had to be a film reference.
Sure.
And if you get that film reference, you're enjoying it right now.
Mm-hmm.
So, podcast at 0HITPOINTS.com. Tell us what the film reference is.
Book club for movies.
Or book club. Yeah, with Thursdays. The only other one thing I wanted to say about it was that the horseplay is top notch in Red Dead Online. Never ceases to amaze, never fails to disappoint. It literally just what you can do with your horse, in that you can jump from yours to other people's.
It's so much fun.
You can collide with and go head over heels for, both figuratively and literally. Yeah.
Correct. Yeah.
So yeah, horse. They got the horse stuff right.
I like it.
Anyway, I had a ton of fun playing with people. That part they're getting right too.
It's fun. I like it. I like Red Dead Online. I like Cowboy Game Online. It's fun.
All right. I'm glad we agree. Did you have anything else you wanted to?
No, I have nothing.
Okay.
Nothing else at all.
That's probably good, actually, because news this week is a little wild.
It's a little dense. We got some dense news.
I don't know if things went downhill. They went sideways. That's a better way to put it.
Yeah,
things started going sideways quick.
There's a diagonal thing going on.
Okay, there is a diagonality to this week's news. First and least offensive thing we can probably talk about are the two bits of news that came out in addition to Outer Worlds, which we did talk about as being maybe one of our most looked forward to games, in that it's developed by
Obsidian,
ex-Fallout New Vegas and ex-Fallout guys.
The good stuff.
The two things that came out about it are, number one, and people were speculating about what might come to the game, and of course, any amount of speculation nowadays should include being scared of microtransactions.
Yes.
So Timothy Kane, in an interview with GameStar, said, quote, "There are no microtransactions in the game. You buy it once and then enjoy it forever."
That's right. That's how I like to purchase my games personally.
It's fantastic.
I like buying games once.
It's not a bad idea.
Yeah.
And the other thing that might get me to buy this game once is that it's not a budget title, but it's not the other expectation they wanted to manage, is that it's not anywhere near a Fallout Vegas type hundreds of hours experience, which I'm on board for.
No, they compared it more to KOTOR, which is give me, you know what? I'm all right with that too.
Another smart comparison, but in that there's like a world with lots of stuff to do, and then I've never played the game, but this is how they put it. And then you travel to another area that's kind of the same thing, but neither one is as big as like a big Fallout New Vegas type thing.
Wait, you never played any of the KOTOR games?
Did not.
Wow, yeah, that is definitely I would say that is definitely a
hole in my resume.
Blank spot for you. Yeah. Because it, like so I will
blight on my repertoire.
I will say that when Mass Effect came out,
ding dong on my mountain,
that was what I compared it to the most, was KOTOR.
I like Mass Effect.
You like Mass Effect. KOTOR was Star Wars Mass Effect.
Yeah, I know. In fact, I want to say I actually bought it at one point because it was backwards compatible on the 360. This is how long it's been on my list.
Either way, good games, man. You should definitely, if you ever get the chance to jump into this. But yeah, I'm loving that their comparison for Outer Worlds here is KOTOR, because there's plenty of depth there. You get lots of fun gameplay, and it doesn't take you 1,000 years to do.
I'm into it, man. Like it's and they said it's I think $40 too, so it's priced accordingly as well.
Yeah. I mean, I don't care if it's if it's the people that made New Vegas doing a game that is not Fallout 76. Yeah, I'm in.
You've already drafted a letter to them saying, "Hey, can I still pay you $60? Is there any way?"
In fact, I will. I'm going to buy their extra special edition.
That's true. There probably will actually be some of that. Least offensive thing of the week. Then it gets weirder. China has set up a game ethics panel.
We've been, I mean, the lunacy in that country regarding video games is just,
Yeah, no. If any country needed it.
Yeah, out of hand.
But I'll just share what they
Share it. Go. Hit it out. Let's get this out there.
This is coming from Polygon, which is coming from the South China Morning Post, a good, upstanding, privatized newspaper, if ever there was one, I'm sure. But it says the nation now has an online game ethics committee as part of the government's laborious process for game approvals. China Central Television state's broadcaster said the Ethics in Games Committee was formed to address national concerns over internet addiction, which I'm not throwing shade at internet addiction here. I think must exist. Quote unquote unsuitable content and childhood myopia, which they apparently attribute to video games in some way.
Sure.
But they said they've looked at 20 games so far. They've rejected 9, and Tencent has seen a dip in the time it's taken them to, and this is where it gets capitalistic, Tencent has already seen a dip in stock prices in the time it's taken them to kind of institute these new rules. It's weird at the outset, but not as weird as it could be.
Keep going because it gets really fun. No, it's got a good little, it's got some nougat in the middle.
Oh, does it? One of the upcoming Trouble games is going to be Kingdom Hearts 3 because it features Winnie the Pooh.
That's right.
And I'm like, okay. Of course they have a problem with Winnie the Pooh. I mean, somehow I have a problem with Winnie the Pooh.
Look,
so.
it's a honey thieving bear that has been anthropomorphized in a horrible way.
Kingdom Hearts 3 actually has a hide-a-bear moment where you walk by a house and you hear Winnie the Pooh inside, but
and then you get attacked.
Yeah, you have to stab him to death.
And you have to stab Winnie the Pooh to death. So I don't see what the problem is.
But apparently that's an issue because they've banned him because the internet has, and rightfully so, taken to compare their president Xi Jinping to Winnie the Pooh. And Polygon also here is kind enough to give us some examples, which are fantastic.
Sure.
I'm looking at him again right now. It's still making me laugh. But yeah, so if China needs censorship, this is the one, and here you go. And I don't know. I don't know what we really have to say on this. In fact, this is how much of a weird news week it is. We don't necessarily have a capper. Any of these could be cappers. Cappers being the things we kind of do a deep dive on. This probably could have been one, but at this point, you're just kind of like, what?
Well, I mean, wait, there's,
Exactly.
We could have a deep dive on it, but the deep dive is going to take forever, and it's going to be saying nothing about things because everybody already knows that this is dumb.
Censorship is bad. China's rough.
There we go. That's why they call them the South China Seas, those rough South China Seas, because it's rough there.
And that's the capper. Yeah, see? That's why. That's what I'm saying.
Cool. Show over. All right.
Maybe this next one about South Korea.
Sure, let's try it. Let's keep it in that corner of the world. Let's go stay in the eastern part. Let's see what we got.
Boosting has now been criminalized in South Korea.
I am so tired of being able to log on to a Gears of War game and do nothing while everybody else does something. And then wait, is that?
It's a dig at me. I get it.
Oh,
it's justified.
Okay.
But it turns out they define it a little bit differently.
Okay.
They have an issue with one person playing on another person's account to rank them up.
Well, I would. Apparently. You know what? That's completely fair.
Which, yeah, I hear boosting and I think, oh, I've joined boosting groups for achievements and whatnot.
Yeah,
yes, the 4-4 is probably the most recent example.
Yeah, that's why I pulled it out.
Well, if I was in South Korea, it'd be a lot worse because I would be like some sort of cool criminal in South Korea. Let me tell you, where you can get up to 20 million won fined from you, which is roughly $18,000, or a 2-year suspended prison sentence.
Sure. Which, I mean, why suspend it? Just take it.
That's Matt's advice.
Yeah, it's 0HITPOINTS.com.
Suspended sentences. Not worth your time.
Yes.
Actually worth your time? Doing time.
Doing time. Look, I'm an excellent lawyer and advocate for people who believe in their innocence. I am fascinated by this also because why?
Well, I mean, it's South Korea. Like anybody hearing this should know that it's a bigger deal there.
Sure. I still want to know why. Like what is the actual real reasoning that this has come up? That South Korea is like, yeah, nobody gets paid to play other people's video games now. That's where I'm at. I don't know. Congratulations, South Korea.
And that's the capper.
And we're the show over.
We don't understand. This did remind me of one story that I did because apart from boosting, I have once done something maybe more similar to this, and it was for a guy on my friends list who was named Caveman something.
Yeah, let's definitely dox him.
Well, I can't, and you'll find out why. In fact, I wish I could because I went to look it up to see if he was still my friend. I'm sure he would have been, for reasons you'll find out. Again, I'm building this up so well.
Yeah, I can't wait.
But he was this guy who it ended up, I got connected with him probably through achieve360points.com. That's how long this has been, which is where me and you actually got together.
Yeah.
And Adam, friend of the show.
Yeah.
Doesn't play PC games. Yeah.
I got him.
But we became friends. I'm sure we actually did boost a couple of games together or something. But at some point he asked me to, this is back when I had Gamefly too. So I was getting a game a week that I was completing because I was doing the easy games. And man, this is bringing back a lot of memories actually. This could go on for a while. It won't. But at some point he asked me to literally recover his account, to take his account and complete a game for him. And I can't even remember what the game was. It was one of the easy ones I had, so it only took like hours. It might have been Jumper, which, speaking of which,
wow,
we might talk about on Thursday.
Wow. But
I did. I got his account, and this wasn't for anything. It was just hey, I played with this guy, whatever. Will you do this? Okay. It turns out he was actually pretty old too. He was like in his 60s or 70s, just this old dude that kind of got caught up in this thing and had made friends doing it that way. And I was like, yeah, this is cool, man. Gaming is fun.
Gaming is fun.
As I achievement hoard myself to death.
Yeah.
At the expense of my life and family. But no, so I did. I recovered his account. I got the achievements on that game, and we played a few more games together. And he actually messaged me pretty often, whatever. And then he went silent. Didn't hear from him for a while.
He died, Ryan.
He did, Matt.
Yeah. No, I saw this one coming a mile away, dude.
I got a message from his son at one point that he bulk messaged all of his friends. I actually had something in my throat. I'm not actually getting choked up here.
That's a lie.
But I could. Nothing wrong with that. I cry all the time. I'm going to cry right after that we rap. I don't care.
Are we rapping?
This is getting weird.
Yeah.
He sent a bulk message out that was just like, hey, this was my dad's account. He passed away, all this stuff. So I sent him a message back that was just like, oh, man, that sucks. Your dad was always really cool. Like, we did this, that, and the other. I shared like one or two experiences that we had specifically and, sent it off. It was a voice message. That's how long ago this was. And the guy messaged me back again in freaking tears. I couldn't understand a single word he said about his father. To this day, I don't know if he was actually very upset at me or not even. I assumed not. He didn't seem to be yelling. But yeah, that was the last I heard from either one of them, in fact. But he either changed the name of the tag and it's something else now or something. I don't know. But it's a good memory it brought back from boosting. So
boosting.
Hey.
Way to weave it back into the show topics. That's a great story.
It's a good memory.
I'm tearing up right now.
But maybe I can work it back into this roller coaster ride that was news this week anyways. Oh,
sure.
Wow, and we've already gone this long, have we?
Yeah, it's crazy. I just looked at that also.
John Romero is still making Doom, it seems.
Yeah, he's ready to release another version of it.
And in a way that's breaking records because, number one, I want to play a PC game. And number two, the collector's edition looks freaking rad.
It's a pretty cool box.
It's a cool box. Like, it comes with a soundtrack by Brian Patrick, the Buckethead dude, I guess. Or sorry, Brian Patrick Carroll.
Buckethead.
Because I know his name and Buckethead. Just gave myself away there.
You Buckethead.
I've heard enough about it. New music from him in conjunction with a Doom game would be cool.
It would be cool.
Anyways, but yeah, this is otherwise going to come out as a free mod for Ultimate Doom. So
Ultimate Doom,
or I guess whatever Doom. There's probably so many Dooms out there, but it's in 1997 they made the source code available for whoever anyway. So it's available for your own Doom if you want.
Yeah, no, it's crazy.
I don't know, John Romero.
John Romero, weird guy, beautiful hair. What a mane.
And again, that's the capper.
Yeah, show over.
Speaking of which, this is where the Sonic poster dropped. So that happened also, but we've already talked enough about that. Again, I don't even know why I brought it up. I'm just...
Because he's got muscular legs and you're really, really confused about what you're seeing.
So many ways. Street Fighter V has ads now.
This is the stupidest thing ever.
I'm telling you, it's just getting weirder from here on out. Like, we're 2 steps away from our pets' heads are falling off.
You gotta get out of this town. Book club for movies Thursdays. This is an interesting one where
interesting.
This is interesting because this is Capcom pushing as hard and as far as they can to see what they can get away with. Right?
I just can't believe they did what they like. I heard about it and I was like, okay. Like I put in Origins for my daughter the other day, Assassin's Creed Origins, so she could do some of the Discovery Tour. And there's ads in that for Odyssey now. It's just a single screen that pops up, and yeah, I hate it, and it's the worst thing. And I almost got rid of the game right then. But I kind of figured it would be something like that in this at least.
Right. So, but here's the thing. I also was like, okay, they're not doing that. They're going to do in-game ads. Fine. Like there's tons of games. Rocket League kind of can do that. Like,
also, it's been done.
Hockey games, sports games have the adverts on the sides, just like they do in real life. Okay, that's fine. What Capcom has decided to do here was make it so obnoxiously forefronted that the actual icons and stuff that they've put on that are part of the ad, like so the ads show up on the characters, they don't look like they fit in the game even a little bit.
On the characters, yeah, this doesn't even look like it's taking the style of Street Fighter V. It looks like those games like Team Fortress 2 where somebody always put their own art on the walls or something.
Correct. That is 100. It looks like a spray. It totally looks like a spray.
Capcom has hacked Street Fighter V to put up their own Pro Tour symbols on, and not even yes, Guile's USA tattoo, his American flag tattoo, is now a Capcom Pro Tour thing. Right. That's obnoxious and offensive, probably actually in more than one way. Not that the American flag on Guile, I guess, was, but that's not even the worst one. The worst one I would point to was the one where they replaced the actual. So Akuma, he has a Shinshin Goku Satsu Super, which ends with his back facing the camera to display the Japanese heaven kanji, which even I know this thing, right? Mm-hmm. I want to say he did this in Tekken 7, which I did play recently, which he was in.
Sure.
So yes, even I'm aware of this thing. Now it's the freaking Capcom Pro Tour logo.
Well, that's what you want it to be.
Like that they would replace something so basic and fundamental is crazy. Like I feel like somebody broke. I feel like a human life was spent in this process. Like I feel like they broke somebody at some point that was like, fine, you want me to do this? Fine, I'll do it. And they did it in the worst possible way, you know? That's what it feels like to me. I don't know. Call me crazy.
No, and the thing is, like, they're not even required. You can turn them off, but if you turn them off, you lose. You don't get as much fighter money or something. I don't know. It's the buy a car thing, and if you keep their sticker on it, you get. Do they still give you a break for that, or are they just relying on stupid people to keep the dealer sticker on their car? Oh, I have no idea.
Okay, have you ever heard of that? Have you ever seen the car that has like a sticker on it that's like, or even sometimes it's like a metal placard, like it's supposed to say the model of the car, and it says like Joe's Cars.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. It used to be they gave you some sort of incentive to do that, and not just hopefully this guy doesn't ask me to remove this, because why would anybody want this on their car? Like when we bought our Leaf, I'm going off. I don't even care how long it's been. When we bought our Nissan Leaf, the guy was like, "Yeah, and if you want, we can put this huge zero emission sticker, like a freaking decal size of the door on the side of the car." I'm like, "Oh," I was like, "Cool. Is that like you get like $1,000 off or something?" He's like, "What?" And I'm like, "Surely there's some sort of break for defacing my car for you." There was not. So yeah, I guess. I don't know. Yeah, you get some fight money if you keep this garbage in, is what I'm getting at.
I love it.
Next thing.
Yeah, no, end of show. That was
And that's the capper. So the riot, I like how we're going to blow past some of these. These are the things to blow past. Although this one, yeah, you could probably blow past. COO Scott Gelb has been suspended without pay temporarily, mind you, for, and I'm just going to read it, and this is a mix of quoting from Kotaku, who's quoting Riot themselves, participated in ball tapping, parentheses, flicking or slapping testicles, farting on employees, or humping them for comedic effect.
Well, I mean, who doesn't hump for comedic effect?
Of all the comebacks, that was the last. You still got me. Man,
That's what they call me.
That you've kept this relationship fresh is thank you. And by not comedically humping me too is the crazy thing.
Well, you know, it's you can,
it's the small things.
It's that's what she said. You know,
this is not worthless. This is not laugh worthy. Nobody should be laughing. This created a hostile work environment for so many people.
And here, like, so this goes to a point where it stops being funny, and because, of course, it would be one of the top guys at Riot, like the CEO, of course,
right?
Of course.
One of the guys at Riot is a League of Legends troll, basically.
Right?
Right?
Exactly. Like the shock is just it's my face.
It would be laughable. Sorry, no, go ahead.
No, you're right. That's exactly it. It would be laughable if it wasn't so laughable.
And I apologize. Like, don't like. Yes, we should be temporarily suspended. Both of us.
Well, thankfully, it's the end of the year, so we actually kind of will be.
We can. You know what? Let's suspend ourselves over Christmas break.
Yeah, all right.
Let's give ourselves a Christmas break.
That's
actually,
good. That was the capper, by the way.
Yeah,
right.
And that's
End of
the
the show.
capper. Also, Blizzard has killed HOTS esports, which I know both of the abbreviations for. That's Heroes of the Sporm.
Heroes of the Sporm.
Yeah. Heroes of the Spore. I actually thought this was about the EA game. Hold on, let me read the title. Oh, it's about Heroes of the Storm.
Oh, well, Navy SEALs.
And esports, which stands for electronic sports. See, I knew them both. That one I got right.
Look at that. I'm proud of you.
I mean, we're talking about fighting games and esports on this show. We're breaking all sorts of ground. I just didn't know they could cancel them. The whole thing?
Yeah, I know. I like that Blizzard was just like, they were like, hey, I don't want to do this anymore. And somebody else was like, yeah, let's just quit. Okay.
No, it's two guys in a room. Do you still want to do this thing? It's basically just a breakup.
I'm super over it. Yeah, me too. Hey, I got an idea. Let's just like make a post on Twitter, essentially. Then we're going to be a blog post saying, we're not doing this anymore. Sorry, guys.
Later that night. Wait. Aren't there like thousands of people that do this? Oh, you're right.
Maybe we should have said something ahead of time. Oh, well.
It just seems weird.
Yes. I got nothing on
and that's
that
the capper?
That is the capper. That's the end of the show. Hey, that's the actual end of the show. And that's going to be it for the regular 0 hit points episodes for the year. That's it. We're done. We're shutting up for a little while.
And you're saying it like it's going to be long. I'm scared because we hiatused last year for like longer than just Christmas. So I don't know if you're pulling something on me now, but maybe we'll just wait and see. For now, we're taking Christmas off, and next we come back, which depending on what happens, these shows might come out over next week. We're going to do our favorite 5 shows, and that goes for both. I don't know if you remembered we talked about this quickly.
I have never forgotten more.
Okay. We're going to do our favorite 5 for 0 hit points for video games, which is just going to be, especially for me, my favorite 5 that I've played this year, because I haven't played enough of the new games to even give you a normal top 10. There's plenty of people doing top 10s or top 5s out there. If you want game of the years, you get your game of the years.
Get your game of the years.
So we will do that show for this show. We're also going to do favorite 5 for Book Club for Movies, and we're only going to consider our main movies of show, which doesn't necessarily make it any easier, because that's still going to be, every week. Yeah, no, we just did our 40th episode last week, so it's going to be 40. It's going to be
5 out of 40.
Something like that.
Which is pretty much how our star rating.
So yeah, in any event, taking a break. And so I guess Merry Christmas to you.
Happy Hanukkah also to you.
Merry Christmas to you and Happy Hanukkah to me.
Yeah,
Thank
that's that. We like to throw them that way. I mean, Hanukkah is, it's been over and done with for a little while. It's fine.
They don't overlap at all?
Not this time.
Rosh Hashanah?
You're getting good words.
Good Friday.
Yom Kippur.
Oh,
that's a fun one to say.
That's the thing that you wear on your head.
Yeah, it's got a propeller on it.
Oh my gosh! All right, so tune in whenever we come back. Well, actually, we'll be back Thursday for Gremlins. Actually, it will be our Christmas-ish show, Decemberween, take 2. So come back for that, and come back next week for whatever happens. But Christmas will definitely happen. So come back for that. And
it will be. I gotta. Oh man. Yeah, we're gonna air this out right now. You can cut this out or not. I don't care. I don't know. You had to get the lists to me so late.
List of what?
I don't know that I'm gonna be able to get stuff out to the children.
Yeah. Sure, I did. No, that's correct.
You're gonna end up.
You badgered me.
They're gonna end up with like another January or February Christmas.
Well, okay. I'm gonna get this out there then. I don't know if you cut this if you want, but
finally, I'm in charge of the editing.
Yeah. It's just a weird situation, anyways, because you're like the best gift giver I know and completely invested in it. People must know this about you. Love giving gifts and are amazing at it. I
like it.
We are in so many ways in complete opposites here. I don't even celebrate my own birthday. And me and my wife are on the same page, so it's only gotten worse. Like we both forgot our anniversary last year, I think it was, or something. And I don't do gifts because I'm like always buying the thing for me, so it seems silly. So Christmas is just as bad, and you're like, get me a list because I'm great at buying presents and awesome, and I'm like bad at even making lists, but I do it because the kids, like I have all their lists. So yes, I did get that to you late, and who knows, dear listeners and viewers, if I will get Christmas presents from Matt this year on time.
Yeah, I think it's only ever happened once, maybe twice.
Also, that you've sent them after before, so I don't. What is even,
at one point? I think you did get them in March. I think it was like I had them sitting there for a while, and I was like, all right, here you go, and they showed up in March. Like, I don't know.
You also spend so much money on shipping them. You don't even do like the get them on Amazon and have Amazon ship them to me.
Oh yeah, no, I actually might do that this year. Oh, okay. Because that's the thing is normally I actually go to the store and I buy things. I touch them. I look at them. I go out because I want to visually I want to see the thing. You
want to touch them.
I do. I want to know
so tactile.
Like does
not my children the presents.
Does the Pokemon that I'm gonna buy for great? Does it actually feel like a Pokemon?
That's true. Okay. All right. Yeah. All right. He broke all those, by the way. I'm sorry.
He's number one. He's a child. Number 2, they're toys. So that's what they do.
We've had a real Pokemon ball problem this year because he wants those again, and I think it's at this point it's just because my son's special needs. He's not that he doesn't love Pokemon, but he will also get in the thing where we ask him what he wants, and he thinks when you ask him what do you want, that he's supposed to say certain things. So now he just says Pokemon. And so we can't really tell, even though he does still love it, like if he really does want those, or if he just always says it, even though now he's always getting them. It doesn't really matter in the end because he loves it.
Sure.
But yeah, we're like, do we get him another Pokemon ball? He's literally broken. We've got him like 4 different kinds, and he's broken all of them, but does he care? I don't know.
It's fun.
And that's the camper!
There it is! Show over.